We are back. I promised another video on creating a yell-free home, and I just want to put a plug in, even if you're not a yeller, but you have intense emotions and knee-jerk reactions to your kids, these activities will, this activity that we are going to do today, I'm only going to take time to do one activity today, this activity will help you out. What is this activity? Well, when your kids do what it is they do that drives you to that point where you have all those emotions that you feel like you're going to jump out of your own skin, I want you to pause if you can, or even if you can't, get yourself under control in that moment. I want you to go back to it, and I want you to ask yourself, what thoughts am I having that are creating these emotions? In cognitive behavioral therapy, we have learned that our thoughts actually create our emotions. And when I first learned this and started reading all the research done by David Burns and some of the other great mentors that I've studied under, like Byron Katie, you know, and I started thinking, yeah, well, pretty sure that sometimes I just have emotions and I don't know why I have them. I'm just having them, and that's why they're emotions. I learned that's actually not true. That, and studies have shown that when we have those knee-jerk reactions and we can't identify where they come from, that's usually from a thought pattern that we have, or a belief system that we have that we might not even recognize we're having. So what is the activity? Next time you're in that space, when you have that knee-jerk reaction, go back and reflect and say, what are the thoughts or what are the belief systems I have that are causing me to be so angry or frustrated or fill in the blank? And you might be surprised when you ask your brain questions, you're pretty genius and you come up with some pretty great stuff. So ask your brain, why is it that I am so blank right now? Why do I feel this intense emotion? When my kid goes off at me or they're so disrespectful, I want to just jump across the counter and say, don't you dare talk to me that way. What is that? Where does that anger come from? And why is it so knee-jerk? What belief systems do I have? We might have the belief system that if I don't stop this right in this instant, they are going to grow up to be this type of person for the rest of their lives. That is scary. That would drive me to my brainstem and that knee-jerk reaction if I believed that in every instant my child was reactive or disrespectful or lied or hit or was a bully. I had to jump down their throat and immediately cut them off at the knees, or they would be that way for the rest of their life. Sometimes I have that belief system, and I can step away from that belief system and reframe that thought. And that's a pretty dramatic belief system. Yours may not be that belief system. Mine's not always that belief system, but that's a good example. So how would I reframe that belief system? I might think something like, ooh, that was inappropriate. They're testing how to act. This is an experiment. This life is an experiment. I am too angry to deal with this right now, but I can come back to it and make sure that they know that this isn't okay when I'm more calm. And you think this in your head, and you might need a few deep breaths. Less said, best said when things are going wrong. That's my mantra. I said a lot of words before a few seconds ago, but your kid pops off, he yells, she yells, you have that knee-jerk reaction. You want to cut him off at the knees. And that's a metaphor, by the way, cutting him off at the knees. We don't really want to do that, right? It's a metaphor. You take a deep breath when you're in that emotional state, you're back in your brainstem, and you say this, less said, best said when things are going wrong. And one phrase that you can tell your kid is, if you have that belief system that you have to immediately consequence them for them to learn so they don't become that person in the future, you can say, oh, empathy first. Oh, when you fill in the blank, man, that's not okay. I'm going to have to do something, but I don't know what. Try not to worry about it. and you turn around and you walk away, and if you need to go scream in a pillow, go scream in a pillow, do whatever. If you need to go on a run, if you need to drink your Diet Coke or whatever your out is, go do that thing. And then practice that activity. Why is it that I have this knee-jerk reaction? What are the thoughts or belief systems behind my anger, my frustration that drive me to my brainstem with my kids when they do this thing? I would love to hear how this experiment goes for you. So again, go home today, think about a time where you had a knee-jerk reaction to your kid and their behavior, where you didn't behave the way you wish you would have, and ask yourself, what is the belief system or the thought process that I have behind those emotions? And then try to find a way to reframe it, to think about it in a different way to help you stay in control of your thoughts and your emotions. Good luck to you. I hope this little experiment works. I would love to hear feedback. Did you try it? What were the results? Return to gratitude, and you got this.